How's it going, everybody? Die here, bringing you guys the ESDA or Esports Drifting Association official rulebook version 1.1, presented by Formula Drift, Turn 10, and Forza 6. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining sections 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the rulebook, and the rest of the sections will be coming in future videos. So let's get right into things there. Scroll over here, zoom in, and I want to touch up on the first couple sentences of the rule book here. It has an all bold print and everything, that if you have any issues or anything about the rule book, and if you don't see it in the rule book, you need to message Drifted IV. If you can't get to Drifted IV, message TUS Chunky or Initial Die. But please read this carefully, because if majority of the time when people send me these messages or send any of the organizers these messages, they're in the rule book. So I mean, just read the rule book and everything before you send messages, cause 9 times out of 10 it's most likely in the book. So moving on forward in the video, you have your table of contents. This is to help people to guide them through the rulebook faster and everything, to get to where they need to get to faster in the book. I mean, it's a big book, 37 pages. So please use this accordingly to your advantage to navigate through the book. Moving on to the first point here, which is the introduction. The introduction explains, it's to the new audience. That's honestly what it's about. Explaining to you what Esports Drifting Association is and providing them with this year's edition of the rule book. So, if you, I guess, already familiar with everything drifting wise, you can skip this point. But if you want to read it, it's not bad to go ahead and look through it and to make sure. But this to the new audience, to drifting and everything. Moving on to number 2. ESDA rules for events, starting at 2.1. Explaining to you how we organize events and everything. Like here, I got everything numbered. So I mean, when you make the post or make the sign up form, it's going to have all of this thing from number 1 to number 9. So please read that accordingly and everything, and you should have an easy time understanding it. So moving on to 2.3, events that may be, well, it say no events may be added, and that will be possible in the future, excuse me. Moving to the next page of 2.3, explaining to you what we are going to be running, which is the ESDA Major, which is our pro event, Open, which is the M event, the World Championship, which will be coming in February, and the team event. So those are our 4 events that we have in place at the moment. Moving on to number 3. 3.1 is the code of conduct. Now this is what I really want to touch up, really important to everybody on, to make sure everyone understands this, because it's not going to be our fault if rules are going to be broken and everything, because if you break one of these rules, we're going to do our duty and suspend or ban you. So let me get started into everything and explain it off here. Number 1 explains just have fun with the competition and everything. Number 2 is pretty much promote ESDA and its brand, get the word out to everybody, and let everybody know that there is esports and drifting. Number 3, play and keep preferred behavior, excuse me. Honestly explains, just like number 1 says, have fun and everything. Number 4 is pretty much respecting everybody regarding drivers, crew, officials, or anybody. Just respect everyone, guys. Number 5 explains just keeping a fair spirit. I mean, comes back to the first ones I explained, having fun. Number 6, no showboating at the end of runs or anything, or anything is you of I guess I mean thinking you have a win but don't. I mean, 'cause we had people that showboat and they didn't get the win. They thought they had the win but didn't get the win. So I mean, there's no necessary to showboat, guys. Um, no profanity, spending for no, number 7. No cussing, no profanity. Just won't be allowed. Number 8 is no poor behavior on course. Is don't do anything stupid on the course. We're refraining to as coming on the track or doing anything that would be stupid. So please don't try any of that, guys. Number 9, number 9 and 13 kind of explains the same thing. It's honestly explaining. Don't post anything negative on any of the supporting anything that supports the ESDA site or Facebook page, and posting on any of our social media pages or including YouTube. So I mean, if you get caught doing any of that, yeah, I mean the staff is gonna look into it, and we're gonna look into suspending or banning. So please respect number 9 and number 13. Number 10 is creating drama on stream. That would not be tolerated at all. If you're getting caught starting any drama on the stream, this also goes to the audience as well. The stream mod will take action, and from there, it'll get notified to the organizers and staff, and they will be handled accordingly. Number 11, no driving on the track without being told to do so. Explaining, if you don't have no permission, if you don't have any permission, excuse me, to go on the track or anything without any of the officials telling you to do so, that will be counted against you and look according to as a suspend. So if you're not told to go, please don't go. Number 12, being loud or anything while people are going, referring to as to if you have people on the mic or speaking loud and it's coming through your mic, making loud noises or doing anything that'll cause disruption, please don't do it. If you do have a family member or somebody that come through your mic or anything, please mute your mic. That'd be the best thing to do, because if the track staff catches you doing this and it's interrupting people, look forward to that. You will look like to be suspended for a round. So please respect it. Moving on to the next page of the zero tolerance agreement. Moving on to number 14. No tampering with other drivers' internet. This comes to as DDoSing, hitting people offline, or whatever people want. I guess refer that as. So that's, I mean, don't mess with anybody's Xboxes regarding the drivers or the officials. So I mean, if you get caught kicking people offline, and we know you if you're kicking people offline or DDoSing, I mean, sadly, I mean Microsoft never looks into stuff like this, but in real life, and you get caught doing stuff like this in real life, it's a felony. So I mean, you can actually go to jail for this. But in this case, if you get caught doing this, the only thing we can do is we can just honestly ban you. But please keep along that this is a felony if you get caught doing this. So I mean, just keep a note of that, everybody. Number 15, no making second accounts. So now I mean, I know different ways of people making different accounts in previous years of people doing it and trying to get through, and it never got through. I mean, we'll know if you're using a second account. If you got under 500 gaming score, or even under 1,000 gaming score, and if we message that person and they don't have a good reasoning to why they have that account, we're gonna just look at that as somebody that got banned and want to get back in the competition under a second account, or want to qualify 2 times. So I mean, if you get caught and we know that you're doing this twice or making another account, you will get suspended. And for the dudes that are banned and try to come back in doing it, it's gonna be a perma ban. What I even looking over to try to get you unbanned in future events. So please don't try it. Number 16, no modded Xboxes. This goes to as it's honestly like if it wasn't in DLC or if it wasn't in day one edition of the game or the release date of the game, it's not allowed. So please don't mod your Xboxes to do any of this. Referring to as smoke mods, tire mods or anything like that. I don't know if it's possible yet, but I'm pretty sure somebody out there in the PC world knows how to do it. But please don't bring it over to Xbox or anything to try to JTAG your Xboxes or anything that's illegal. So please don't do it. Number 17, calls to number 16, any sort of in-game cheating will not be allowed. So I mean it goes to number 16 what I just explained in that part. Number 18 goes to our car restriction rule that we have. Poor behavior about complaining about your car and your tunes. For example, like explained, sir, if you lose and you want to come to the staff or the organizer saying that we made your tune wrong or anything, I mean that's your fault that you gave us that car to build. So it will be explained in later parts of the video or in future videos that please send the right car, send the right everything, so that way you don't have to worry about this. Because if you break this rule, you're gonna get suspended. And if it gets any further out of hand beyond that, you're gonna get banned. So that explains all of that. Continuing on, breaking number 3, 4, 6, 7, and number 8 through 18 will result in a suspend, or a ban from all ESDA events. So I mean, depending on how serious it is, if it's not really that serious, but you are breaking that rule, look forward to the process below here. 3 warnings of breaking rules, number 3, 4, 6, and 7 will result into a suspend. 1 offense of breaking rules, number 8 through 18, resorting to a suspend. 2 offenses resulting to a suspend of 2 events, and your third offense will be a ban. So please respect this rule, respect all the rules, and so that way you won't get put in these situations. So pretty much all drivers must sign the terms of agreement form, pretty much explaining you agree to all these rules from number 1 to number 18. And if you don't agree to this, you will not be able to enter without agreeing to it. So moving on here, if any drivers have any issues about the round, please PM on the ESDA Facebook page, or after the event. This goes for also PM on the Facebook page. Please send all this after the event is completed or anything, and we'll get to that, and we'll get in a party, or we'll talk it over in a private message and explain to you to what decisions we have made. So yeah, and the answer will come back as soon as possible. Moving on to 3.2, gambling and prizes, explaining any sort of gambling or just any sort of betting would not be allowed. We don't promote this. ESDA do not promote this at any sort of at all. We just do not promote it, and we just do not tolerate it. So please respect it, because if you get caught doing this, you will be penalized, and that penalization will result into suspend, or if it's really that serious, it results into a ban. So don't do it at all, fellas or ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to the next page. Moving on to prizes in the event. Now we accept anything, like hats, t-shirts, anything, stickers. If you have anything you want to give to us to give to the drivers or give away to the stream, we'll be more than happy to accept it. So I mean, there's no problems with doing that. Number 4, explaining you the event info. 4.1 is telling you the pro how the major event is, explaining to you what that is about. The AM events or open events, explaining to you what that's about, explaining to you that we are going with a max field of 128 people max in the signups. So That explains that, and it will be explained also later in the rule book. The word event, explaining to you, it's invitational only, earned from points placed from earlier events. Team events is a max set of 8 teams consisting of 3. I think I did make a little mistake in the rulebook, which will be in the next update, which I will correct. It would not be 5, a max of 5 drivers per team. It will be 3 drivers per team. So keep in mind of that. Moving on to 4.5, the event breakdown. For the AM event, you have drivers will compete, and top 8 from that event will move on up to pro. Going to your pro event, the pro event will consist of 30. I said 32 drivers. Actually, I didn't. I need to refer it into back to the AM event. Will be an open qualifier. Max people to get into that. That top 32 we're taking from that qualifier, and top 8 will move on. Coming back to the pro event, which will consist of 16 drivers and 8 current pros and the 8 new pros that moved up from the AM event. And drivers will compete. Drivers that compete that retain their top 8 spot will pretty much stay a pro. Drivers that finish 9 through 16 will lose pro and will be moved down to open AM. If a pro, for instance, failed to attend an event, they will be replaced with a dude from the open event that plays from 9 through 16 and going in from order from 9 through 16. We'll message them. Pretty much, if you fail to attend the event, there's nothing that we can do. You'll lose your pro license, and this is to be done to keep a consistent field. Because last season we had people that were pros and do one event and don't compete for the rest of the season, which pretty much is blocking spots. So that's why we have this in place now, or this format in place. Moving to the next part of the page, the word event breakdown. For the current one, the first one will consist of 64 people. The team event breakdown will consist of 8 teams. Like I said earlier, I did make a mistake right here. It will consist of 3 drivers per team, not 5. So that will be corrected in the next update, and hopefully that will be updated once I get done with all the explaining the entire rule book. 4.6, drivers meeting, explaining pretty much the demonstration videos or your drivers meeting videos, explaining how the track is going to be done, etc., of how we want you to take the course and everything. So please, and most likely those videos will be up a week before the event to explain to you how everything will be done. So this is mandatory to everybody to watch these videos. It says down here, it goes back to number 5 in 3.1. You have a responsibility. This is your responsibility to look at this video, or these videos, excuse me. The question meeting is pretty much the battles meeting. That's all it is. Like Fridays for open is gonna be a meeting explaining that, and Saturdays is for the meetings for the pro meeting. So this is gonna be held a couple hours before the event or whatnot, and most likely this will take place in the Discord app, Zello app, or the Kick app. Now, out of these 3, in my opinion, and if people that have used it, I like Discord. It's really straight to the point. Hey, you can get everybody in there. You can have a chat and also have a voice chat. So I mean, if you don't have your mic, or if your mic is having an issue getting to the Discord, you can always use the chat to communicate. And also, you can get this on your PC, download it to the PC, or you can download it to the phone. So I mean, there's every option you can do to get these apps. So moving on to the next page. Yeah, that actually concludes the first 4 sections of this rule book. Next video we'll cover 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and catch you guys in the next video.